video you're seeing, welcome. But thank you for your continuous support over the last few years. I still can't believe that there are people out there listening to me rambling and just sometimes, chatting about nothing. Let's just jump into the questions, shall we? I'll start with questions that were posted on YouTube, and I'll just read them randomly. I'll read your name if that's okay. Maybe I should have said that in the post. Anyways, so let's start. Brad asked, how many countries have you visited and which were your favorite? Okay, I have to count. The UK, France, Spain, Italy, Bulgaria, Germany, Austria, Hungary, the Netherlands, Korea. Oh my god. Is it 10? I think I'm not missing anything. There you go, 10 countries. Also this year I'm going to Norway, the Netherlands again, and to Spain again. Okay, which were my favorites? Obviously I think I have to say Korea first because I actually lived there, but also I really liked Spain. I only visited Barcelona though, and this was years ago. I know that the tourism right now in the country is apparently like a bit too much, and there are some protests against tourism, but this was years ago. I always wanted to visit the Nordic countries. Finland is also on my bucket list. Wait, I missed Greece. So Greece, 11. I also loved Greece, but I was really young when I went there. I was like 6 years old, and I would love to visit Greece maybe next year. Yeah. Wait, no. I missed a bunch of countries. Serbia and Bosnia and Herzegovina. Okay, I think that's all now. It wasn't. I missed Croatia where I went multiple times. Yeah. Okay. Which general part of Czechia do you live in? As I live in the western part, close to Germany, Pilsen region. There. Pros and cons of living in Czechia. So I actually got a similar question like that. Let's start with pros. 3 years of paid maternity leave. Although I've been hearing from my friends a lot that it's a bit more difficult to find a job as a woman because the employers expect you to have kids, or even if you have kids, they know that you will have to take care of them. So it's a bit of a double-edged sword. But yeah, 3 years. 3 years per child. So if you have 2 kids, then it could be 6. If you have 3 kids, 3 years apart from each other, it could be 9. What else? Pros. I think in general it is a pretty good country to live in. You have like a mix of Western and Eastern values. There's a ton of culture. Even if you live in the middle of nowhere, chances are that there are some ruins of a castle nearby. There's a wages, it is the most unaffordable in Europe. It's crazy. It has gone absolutely nuts in the most recent years. I was even looking at some house listings just for fun, and sometimes like they expect so much money for like nothing. Like you expect me to take out a mortgage and pay it off for the next like 20 years for that. Like seriously. So like the price of housing definitely does not correlate to the living standards, I should say. Maybe another con would be, I don't know if this is true or not, but usually people say that we are a bit colder nation. We definitely don't like small talk. We don't smile when we look at other people. I would say that we are friendly, but it's like you need to break the ice first a little bit. So if you are a foreigner, it might be harder to find friends. Maybe even if you're just a regular citizen, though. Yeah, in general, I would say that it's a good place to live. Well, if you have a lot of money, then yeah. But I'm also leaving next year for God knows how many years. So, but not because I hate the country or anything. K-pop just asked, have you ever filmed a video that you ended up not posting because it just didn't feel right? Yes. The first thing that comes to my mind is a mukbang that I filmed, and it was absolutely atrocious. I didn't know that I am a messy eater prior to filming this video. I thought that it went well, and then I watched it in editing and I was like, oh my god, I cannot post this under any circumstances. It was so bad. It was so bad. And then I have a bunch of mainly shorts. I also did the fortune cookies videos like I did last year, and they sucked. I had like a video where I would say, here's your prediction for this year, and I would open the fortune cookie and the prediction actually sucked, like it didn't make any sense, so I didn't post that. Most of the time I post the video even if it's not perfect, even if my camera is slightly out of focus. That sometimes happens. Don't like that. But I try not to be a perfectionist. But sometimes the video is just so bad that like I can't post it. Have you ever had a funny or unexpected blooper while recording? So I have to cut out a lot of background noises. My neighbors used to have a dog that would always bark every time I would say something. Like, it was ridiculous. It was as if the dog could actually hear my whispering. I don't know how that was possible. And I would sometimes kind of lose my shit a little. I wouldn't yell or anything. Maybe like a couple of times. I started yelling. Oh yeah. But other than that, there's not much that comes to my mind. I used to post my bloopers at the end of the year, but then I stopped saving them because they just weren't worth it. They weren't as funny, so there was no point for me to save those. Usually when there's like a loud motorcycle or something, I usually say like, are you done? Am I interrupting you? Yeah, I say that a lot, but obviously you can't see that in those videos. How long does it usually take to film and edit one video? It depends. If it's just a talking video, a ramble, it's maybe, let's say, okay, so the preparation, actually like setting up everything takes about 2 hours from the time I like start getting ready way too loud for me when I film it. But in general, if it's a trigger that I really hate, I won't do it. I don't like a lot of mouth sounds, even though naturally I have a lot of mouth sounds. But I can stand listening to those, like, I don't want to say fake mouth sounds, you know, those like that. I can't stand that, so I don't do those. Plus, it's actually really boring for me to film trigger videos, which is why you don't really see me doing them, because I know that people like them, but it's so boring to me. Like, I don't know, maybe I would have to have like a podcast in my earphones while I'll be filming it, but then I wouldn't hear what I'm doing, so it's just like, I don't know. What's your go-to comfort food when you're having a bad day? I think, well, I don't have a comfort food, I have comfort snack, and that would be either Oreos, or then I have favorite cookies that have like jelly on top. They sell them here, I don't know, they probably don't sell them like outside of Europe, but they're just so delicious. It's like a fluffy cookie with jelly on top. I love those. I could eat like 300,000 of them in one sitting. But naturally, I think I gravitate towards sweets and chocolate if I need like something to comfort me. Or maybe a lasagna or pizza. But I wouldn't necessarily have those if I need something to comfort me though. Yeah, chocolate and just sweets. Oreos. Yeah. What's a hobby you've always wanted to pick up but haven't yet? I have a lot of failed hobbies that I tried. Number one, playing the guitar. Oh boy, I've tried. I used to be able to play piano well when I was a child, and then I didn't practice, and now I'm shit. But I used to be able to play. I used to also play the recorder. That's how I've started. But playing the guitar, man, I don't think I can do it. It's just, I don't get it. I don't get how you can like play certain strings and it makes the noise. Piano, I get. You sit down, you press the keyboard, it makes a sound. A guitar, you have to like, sometimes you have to play like the full string sometimes, and then you have to press like a bunch of strings here and there. Like, I don't get it. I admire people that can play the guitar, but I think I will never be one of them. I've tried for a few months, years ago. Didn't work out. Second one would be crocheting. That's another hobby that I really wanted to pick up, and I still haven't. Again, I've tried, but not enough. My mom explained it to me, how you're supposed to, crochet. Again, didn't really get it. But I think if I would practice enough, I think I will get the hang of it, but one day. have considered it, yes, and usually it was because of outside circumstances. Sometimes life gets in the way, and I'm kind of expecting to take a break this year from YouTube a little bit. If I would quit ASMR, most likely I would either post videos about books. I do have a channel about books, but I'm not posting anything on there. I want to get it monetized, but maybe this year, I don't know. I had things to talk about, but I think ASMR is easier for me to film. Also, I might just film like short form content for like Instagram or TikTok, but I would treat it a bit differently. I know I wouldn't treat it like my ASMR channel where I have built a small community, especially on Patreon or membership. It's like, yeah, I would take a different approach to it. Basically, I wouldn't really care about comments at all because I know how toxic the social medias are. So yeah, I would take a slightly different approach. What is something you've never shared on your YouTube channel? There's probably a bunch of things. I don't know if you can hear the traffic outside. It's getting a bit loud. There is a lot of things that I haven't shared. I just had to wait for the traffic. God, okay. There's a gene in my family that makes you have a lower body temperature than the rest of people. You might not believe me, but it's true. Just to put things into perspective, normally people have a body temperature of like 36.5 degrees Celsius, and if your body temperature goes under 35 degrees Celsius, you will go into hypothermia. That is my natural body temperature, and it's not tied to an illness or anything. It's just kind of there. Apparently, what I've heard, it makes your body physically age slower, and the truth is, my family members who have this gene, the members that are maybe in their like 80s or 60s almost, they do look 20 years younger. It's a bit strange. I have the gene as well. It seems like it is a dominant gene, and it's not tied to any gender. So, like my grandma has it, my father has it, I have it. Most likely, my children will have it too, if I would have some. It's not like there's nothing really bad about it, and you wouldn't even tell a difference probably. It's not like I'm like Edward Cullen, you know, that was stone cold. Like most people, they cannot tell a difference. But yeah, that is a cool fact that I know I haven't shared. It is a real thing. It's not dangerous. It's just there in my family. Yeah, which is maybe why when my friends or like when people ask me, okay, how do you feel about like videos for a while, and YouTube kicked me out of the partner program, which means that not only I don't get anything from those videos from YouTube, but also they can put ads wherever they want, in the middle, at the end, in the beginning, and I get absolutely nothing from it. And so now there's not really a point for me to be filming ASMR if YouTube is just going to put like tons of ads into the middle of the video, and there's nothing I can do about it. So if I would film a Czech video again, it would most likely be on this channel where I actually have control over the ads. Yeah, YouTube. Thanks for that, YouTube. And they sent me the email. It was, I think, in December, and they told me to either meet the requirements of being in the program again, because I was inactive for like 6 months, or they will kick me out. And there was no way I could have meet all the requirements within 1 month on that channel. It's a small channel anyway, so yeah, it would be on this channel if I would ever film in Czech again. Lostem asked, out of all conflicts going on in the world right now, which one particularly distresses you? I don't know if you mean like war conflicts, or it could be like a societal conflict. Currently, the Trump trade war, if you can consider that a conflict, it's worrying because, you know, I'm from the EU. Since when is the European Union an enemy to America? And also the stuff that the administration said about Greenland and how they would take it over by force. Excuse you, like, where is this coming from? And why does America treat all countries like their enemies? This is not going to end well, honestly, for either America or the administration, because let's stop that, okay? But war conflict, well, the one that I was affected by at the time, and maybe I still am, is the Russian-Ukraine war. There's that. Do you think the younger generations are becoming politically radicalized? If so, why do you think that is? Yes, and it's not just the younger generation. I think it's everyone, and I blame social media's algorithm for it. There has been even a study of political views before the use of social media versus after, and it makes sense because when you watch a video and the algorithm thinks you like it, it will continue to show you the same kinds of videos over and over and over again. If the algorithm thinks that you enjoy videos about hating a specific group, it is going to recommend you videos about hating that group, because it wants you to stay longer on the platform and watch ads. That's like all there is to it. So definitely people are becoming more and more extreme in their beliefs. What I find mind-boggling is that they don't really fact check anything anymore. They just believe whatever the content creator is saying. They don't use Google, like, you know, Google is free, and there are even people having opinions about things they cannot understand. For example, you cannot say, you cannot say, let's impose tariffs on China. Let's make Chinese pay. China ain't gonna pay shit. My God. And then continue in the same sentence. The prices of everything will go down. don't. Like I have, for example, I get it, but again, Google is free. If there's something that you care about, Google it and understand it. Like read, continue to read about it until you will understand how it actually works. Don't just believe what like politicians or these content creators say. No, actually use independent sources. And yeah, anyways, I just I don't get it. Like why, where is the critical thinking? Where is finding things out for yourself and actually understanding them? How can you vote on something you can't even comprehend? That is just, I'm sorry I got angry, but it's not just, you know, that. It's multiple things. Not just what I've mentioned about the terrace. There's more, but still doesn't make sense to me. Sorry, I'm ranting a little bit, but I have an issue with saying that everyone's opinion matters or every opinion has the same value. No, it does not. If an expert, if an economist says something about a topic that they understand, they have studied, their opinion will matter more than someone's who doesn't understand the topic at all. It's not just that, it could be about healthcare too, for example. Anything, literally anything. Just, but people, they don't want to listen to experts, they will form baseless opinions instead. Anyways, I talked about this way too much. Okay, let's move on to the next question. Tim asked, and by the way, thank you for the kind words. What do you think of Kanye West's recent tweets on Twitter? I'm not on Twitter or X at all. Like, at all. No, that is just one social media that I will stay away from. But I've heard a few things about Kanye West. First of all, I think that man needs help. He's not doing well. And I don't know if you mean the racist tweets, or there's always something, like he always tweets some BS, or about how he put his daughter on a list of people that betrayed him. How old even is his daughter? It's just, he needs help. Like, that's all I'm going to say. Clearly he's not doing well. I don't even know if he isn't getting another divorce, which I would not be surprised. Why was he parading his wife like that? Since the beginning, actually. I don't know, he needs help. What is your favorite type of music? I listen to a lot of ballads. Just emotional, kind of sad songs is my favorite genre. But I listen to pretty much anything. I listen to rock, I listen to classical music, I listen to K-pop. It depends on the mood, really. Yeah. But my favorite genre is just like heartfelt, sad songs and ballads. What is one wise and deep sentence that got stuck in your head for a few years? Don't take criticism from people you wouldn't take advice from. That's a big one. That one provided some clearance on certain topics in my life. There's more. Also, this one kind of got stuck in my head, and it was a random Instagram video. And it said, if you're in your 20s or 30s and you feel old to do something, read a memoir of someone who's in their 50s or 60s, and you will understand how young you still actually are, reasons that make me want to leave for a couple of years, but it's not necessarily the country itself, it's just my path. Okay. Maurice asked who and or what inspires you. I don't know if this is a good enough answer, but what inspires me is the idea of my future if I would put in the work, if I would try hard enough. Maybe it's a bit of like a delusion of how good my future could be if I, go through this or study that or do that, and that like idea of a better future is what inspires me. I don't take inspiration from other people because everyone is human. We all go through difficult times. No one is perfect. So I don't really idolize people like that. I don't look at someone and think if I work hard enough I could be on their level. I see it as if I work hard enough I can be on a better level than I currently am, if that makes sense. Which languages can you speak, and are you planning on learning more? My guess, Czech, English, and Korean, which is already a lot. So yeah, Czech is my native language, English is my second native language. I have a certificate that says that I have English on a native level. Korean, yeah, that one. I can speak in Korean, I'm not fluent, but I will be probably in the next couple of years. I've learned Spanish for a couple of years. I can understand Spanish. I cannot speak it well, but I can understand most of like regular speech or text. I've learned German for 6 years. That one I don't use actively. There are probably some leftovers from that time in my head. I learned it in middle school and high school. So I can understand a little. I can't speak it really. Maybe if I would refresh my memory, then I could. I've learned French for exactly one lesson in high school because after that, the teacher was teaching English and French at the time. He was not like a native French citizen. He was a normal Czech dude. He got kicked out from the high school for allegedly, and I actually don't know, but allegedly sleeping with students. So yeah, I took exactly one French lesson and then I didn't really pick up the language after. I tried though. But then I don't know, I was stuck with Korean instead, maybe Spanish. I also had the opportunity to learn Russian in high school as well for a couple of years, but at the time I had to choose between Russian or advanced math, and I chose advanced math instead. So I can speak Russian. My parents can speak Russian because the country was occupied by Russia when they were in school, so they had to learn Russian so they can read and speak Russian, but I can't. Maybe I could. It is a Slavic language, but it's different from Czech. I can understand Slovakian if that counts, because the languages are so similar. Yeah, Czech and Slovakian language are extremely similar, so we can understand each other without actually speaking the other language, if that counts. maybe I'll refresh German or Spanish, I don't know, we'll see about that, depending on the mood. Okay. Sarbian asked, what's your biography? I feel like that is such a complicated question, and if you want to know more about my life, I recommend joining my Patreon or membership. That is a shameless plug, but I actually talk about my life there a lot. I'll try to kind of summarize it in a few sentences. I was born disabled. I couldn't walk. I had to take rehabilitation for years as a young child, and because I was making huge progress from the beginning, sometimes the nurse would teach me like logical thinking or reading, so I could fully read like an adult at the age of 4, and it was because of the rehabilitation. Now I don't have any issues. I should do some rehabilitation exercises to maybe improve my posture and improve the ligaments in my knees and stuff, but other than that, like, I'm completely fine. Then you have elementary school, then I went to a better middle school for like the smarter kids. High school, pretty boring. Then I studied business administration for bachelor's. Then I lived in Korea for a while. Then I did a master's in international relations. While I was studying, I started my YouTube channel. Then I worked as a translator for a company that did websites. So I pretty much only focused on websites and the code, which is where I got my first minimal knowledge of web development. Then I switched to actual tech, and most likely I will be leaving Czechia next year for Korea. Okay, that was like very condensed summary. Why did you decide to become a YouTuber / ASMR content creator? It just made sense at the time. I was going through a hard time. I wanted to help others, and I think that's why it just stuck with me, because I was getting messages like, gosh, it's a bit emotional, but I was getting messages like, one of the reasons why I didn't take my life was because I was looking forward to your new video. Yeah, I got some like kind of heavy messages, or I'll get messages like, I sleep well thanks to your videos, and I think that ASMR is generally one of the more meaningful YouTube content that you can film. That's why I just stuck with that. Yeah, I just wanted to help people, and 5 years later I'm still here. Even though my life has changed drastically since I started, somehow I'm still here. What do you see yourself 5 to 10 years from now? Where do you see yourself? I don't really have a 5-year plan, actually. I kind of revealed my plans already a little bit. I don't know, most likely I'm going to be working a job in tech. But like, that's about it. I don't know, I don't really make, or I don't involve other people in my plans, so I can't tell you like, yeah, I'm going to be married or I'm going to have kids, because that doesn't really depend just on me, you know. So I don't involve like other people in my plans. And like 5 years from now, I don't know, it gives me so much anxiety that I don't even want to think about it, because my plan ends at like 3 years, and that's all I can worry about now. And 10 years from now on, I don't know, most likely going through my first divorce. I hope not, but who knows these days. Life's tough. changes all the time. I listen to a lot of Billie Eilish these days. I like Debussy for classical music. I like Surgery Kids for K-pop. like, I don't know. And I also listen to a lot of 80s music, so I can choose like my absolute favorite artist, I think. Yeah. I just listen to whatever I want in the moment. What are your absolute favorite movies? I really like Johnny English, the first movie, as a comedy. It's so funny. I really liked Mean Girls. I like all of the Harry Potter movies. Goodness. Love Rosie. That one is a romantic comedy. I'm watching a lot of romantic slash like kind of like heart-wrenching films these days, so maybe I'll find my new favorite movie amongst those. We'll see about that. I'm probably forgetting a bunch of movies right now. I did my best, okay? I did my best. I like Pride and Prejudice too. I don't think I have like a specific favorite movie actually. Yeah. Tuko asked, do you have a catchphrase or saying you say a lot for no reason? I say c'est dommage a lot for no reason, or sometimes don't test on la biblioteca. Catchphrase. I have multiple of catchphrases, and some of them work only in English, some of them work only in Czech. Okay, so I used to say this a lot in 2023, and it comes from a meme of this dog that holds like a knife, and I used to say peace was never an option. So let's say I would have to make a decision, or I don't know, someone would make me angry, and normally I wouldn't say it to that person, I would say it to myself, and I would say it to my friends as I would be talking about the thing that happened. I would say to the actual person, but yeah, peace was never an option. In fact, my friend made me a shirt with my photo on it when I was a child. Wait, I'll go find it, give me a second. Just to see how much I was saying this, okay? Peace was never an option, and this is like this picture of me as a child kind of imitates the dog holding a knife. I say hell a lot, and it originally started as like this is hell, and then it got shortened to hell, and it's funny because my friends are starting to pick it up too. So, and it's even funnier in Czech because we don't really use hell as like a way to curse. We don't have phrases like what the hell, you know. So when I say this is hell, I mean like actual hell. And let's say you get a notification from 3 years ago, like here's a photo, memory, and so you look at it and you go, this is hell. Or you can just say hell. I say that a lot. I also have a phrase that I only say in Czech though with some of my friends, and I say it a lot, which it would translate as like, it's not the same, like fuckery, got What's your go-to karaoke song? Bohemian Rhapsody by Queen. A legendary song. Everyone knows it. It's such a fun song to sing, you know, the mama. And then you have the opera part. You can do the bismol part with friends. You know, it is such a fun song to sing. And of course, you know, Freddie Mercury is a legend and no one expects you to sing like him. So even if you mess up, it's fine. I also can do duets sometimes, like male and female, and I do both voices. That is my like go-to thing that I do, and people get really surprised because I can do like a male opera voice almost, and a female one too. So that, yeah, but anyways, Bohemian Rhapsody. Or for Korean karaoke, Ditto by New Jeans. For some strange reason, that is the only song that I'm good at when I sing in Korean. I don't know why. I don't know why. It's just or like mildly good at. Okay, let's be humble. Name one thing off your bucket list. I want to go one day on a cruise that takes you around like the shore, and it's maybe like I don't know, a couple of weeks, a month long, and you go to a different city each day or every couple of days. I would love to do that, but those cruises are expensive as fuck. Like, maybe one day if I would be a hot and rich granny at like 60 years old, then I would do the cruise. But yeah, they're really expensive, but I think they're worth it. Like, you visit so many different places. I'm a little worried that I would get seasick though, but I would love to do that. Okay, last question. What is one thing